Paint has arrived, and as it seems to be a nice warm sunny day, I thought I'd take advantage and get the axle painted. This is the rust encapsulator from Buzzworld UK. I've used this before with great success, and this is going to make a really nice rust stabilising base for when we put the Raptor 2K Raptor paint on top. So I'll give this a stir. I need to I'll take you with me. I've got the axle out in the sun just because. Nice day. Obviously it's just rusted over again since we did the initial cleaning, so I'm going to go over it with the angle grinder with the wire wheel attachment, clean all that off, and then we'll start painting. I've had to come back inside because the sun disappeared. Well, it's over there, but I don't want to move it over there because I'll only have to move it inside because it's getting late in the day. So we're back inside. It has now been wire wheeled and we're back to sort of shiny-ish metal. I almost forgot to weld in. There was a hole where I'd needle scaled and blew a hole through on one of these. I can't remember which one it was, but both of these just little inner supports were a little bit thin, so I just made some patch panels, welded those in before I do the painting. So that's all good now. I did put some paint behind it and I had to wait for that to dry. So we shall get on and get this painted now. I'll bring you back when it's done. That's the first coat put on. We'll let that dry up and then we'll get another coat on. Right, I've got a second coat of the rust encapsulator on the axle and the panhard bar and the stabiliser bar. So this is what we're going to use on the axle and the underside of the chassis, and this kit's got everything you need. It's a 4 litre kit, so that might be enough for what I need, but for the axle I'm thinking we'll use one of the 1 litre bottles. That'll probably be enough for the axle, and then that leaves 3 for the chassis. And it's really simple, just mix 237ml, which it's got on there, of the hardener, put it into there, add it to this, and then attach it to the gun and spray away. First coat, put it on, leave it for 60 minutes, put the second coat on, and that should be good. So I'm going to get set up and we'll start spraying this on the axle.
Here in this
few days since we last did some work on the Hilux stuff, and the paint is now hardened and dried. This is the Raptor liner. It's nice and tough, so pleased with how that came out. Never used it before. So hopefully that should stand up to some Scottish weather. So it feels like it's, you know, like a 2-pack. It just feels rock solid. So it takes, I reckon, about a week to fully cure. So it's not going anywhere. It's going to sit here for probably well over a week. I just fitted the new fill, breather, and drain these, and I'm in the process of, this is the panhard bar, getting a coat of Hammerite Smooth Red. Sorry about the wind noise, try and shelter it as best as I can. Stabilisation bar, link these, all getting a coat of the old red Hammerite. They all had the rust encapsulated paint as a base coat, so extra belt and braces. And in the workshop it is getting silly busy in here because Goliath, the compressor, taking up all the space. My trailer build taking up space. But we've got parts. We've got parts of the Hilux eventually. So we've got new drums in the back there, shoes, wheel cylinders, and fitting kit. And in here we've got Cooper nickel brake line. So we're going to make up new brake lines, because if you remember, the old ones were all seized on and snapped and all sorts. Just typical Hilux stuff. We've got, these are just the rubbers for the bell cranks for the handbrake, and I managed to get from Japan new ones. The old ones, if you remember, the inside of the boot and the bell crank was just full of like furry snow from where the aluminium had just corroded so badly. We've also got new split pins and things for that. These are the retaining springs that hold the levers of the bell cranks in place, and managed to get hold of these, which are apparently from an Alto trailer. So it's just a brake fitting so I can match it up. What else do we have? That's the other bell crank. The panhard bar bushers, anti-roll bar bushers. Let's get those out of the way. We've got a big old bag of brake ends. That's just a thing. This is the prop shaft to diff oil seal, because that was leaking. Rough Tracks do a wheel bearing kit which comes with all the seals as well. So it's got the bearing, the retainers, the seals, the rubber boot, the outer seal, the gasket. So we've got one for each side of those. These are the handbrake adjusting forks. Again, the reason for replacing these, mine, the teeth weren't very teeth-like anymore, so it was almost impossible getting the drums off, because I was trying to poke this through with the, screwdriver through the little access hole, and there just was no teeth on them, so that's why the drums were fighting me coming off. But new ones of those. new grommets for those holes. I didn't really need to replace these little inner handbrake leads, but they weren't massively expensive, and I just really didn't want to clean up the old ones. And I don't know if inside the sleeve they would have been corroded and snapped, so again, just for the sake of it, new ones. This is the complete new handbrake cable, and again, nothing wrong with the old handbrake cable, but the fittings that are all built into the cable were all corroded and snapped on my old cable. So although the cable was good, the fittings weren't. So, and these are the main backing plates. The old ones, I'll show you the old ones. They're hilarious. This is what's left of the old backing plates. It had a big extra bit around it, but that's what's corroded. I mean, the actual plate itself is okay, and maybe you could have just reused them without that extra bit, but it's all got to come apart. So nice new ones. There you go. You can see it on these. You've got this sort of thick inner section, and then you've got this thinner outer section, and it's this section here that's completely missing on both mine. I'll say it probably doesn't have much effect, but keeps the crap out of the drums. So we've got those. They're just the brackets, new brackets. I've shown you those before for the anti-roll bar. That's the other wheel bearing. This is the special little tool that Rough Tracks do. You need to remove the bearings and ABS rings from the shafts. And while I was shopping at Rough Tracks, I needed to get a new top radiator hose and cam belt kit, tensioner and everything, because that will need to do it. So between painting and stuff, we're going to attempt to get these. We've got to take the retainer and the ABS, and that retainer comes off. Then there's like a snap ring, and then I think the other one comes off possibly, or when you do the wheel bearing or something like that. So I've got various pullers and sleeve kits and bearing press kits and things like that. So I've modified my bench so there's now a hole in it, so this can go all the way through and we can hopefully push that out. Right, I'm going to get on and carry on painting. I'll probably film a little bit of the taking this apart and whatnot as we go.